Hello guys, today we are going to look at the technical specifications for the M5 MacBook Pro so that you won't look it up anymore. So this is the M5 MacBook Pro. You got the 14-inch and the 16-inch version. So the starting price is 99,990 for the base model. So the MacBook Pro M5 is the base model. That's what we're going to look today, not the M4 because this was last year's release. Okay, so we have the M5. Still, we have the 10-core CPU with 4 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores, 10-core GPU, and we have a neural accelerator hardware accelerated ray tracing in 16-core neural engine with 153 gigs memory bandwidth, so which is lower from the Apple Silicon Pro chips. We have the media engine, hardware accelerated H.264 HEBC ProRes and ProRes RAW. It has video decoding engine and video encoding engine. It has a dedicated ProRes encoding and decoding engine and a dedicated AV1 decode engine. So moving down, so we have the display. So the display hasn't changed since the original 14-inch or 16-inch Apple Silicon MacBook Pros. So nothing to be surprised there. And still, it has a 1 million to 1 contrast ratio. So you have this on the M1 Pro MacBook Pro. Still 1000 nits of sustained full screen brightness and 1600 nits of peak brightness for HDR content. But you can use, I think this is the only change that has happened for this model or the past few models like the M4 MacBook Pro that has 1000 nits brightness. So for the color, we have still 1 billion colors, P3 True Tone. True Tone kind of mimics the temperature environment that you're in. So the downside is that if you're working on a project that needs to be color accurate, it won't be accurate because it's changing the tint of the screen. Still, we have the ProMotion adaptive refresh rates up to 120 Hz. Still, it's the same as the M1 Pro MacBook screen, but it has a nano texture display. It is an add-on, so it's not included in the base model. So you're gonna upgrade to buy it. So this was introduced last year in the M4 MacBook Pro. Now, for the memory, we have 16 gigabytes up to 24 gigabytes. And the max is 32 gigabytes of memory. Now, for the battery and power. So, Apple claims to have this MacBook Pro running up to 24 hours when watching videos and up to 16 hours of wireless web. So it has a 72.4 watt hour lithium polymer battery with 70 watts of USB power adapter. So this is what's included in the box. If you want to upgrade to a 140 watts, well, you can buy it separately. So you have a USB-C to MagSafe cable, and you can fast charge this MacBook Pro M5 up to 96 watts. So we're gonna skip the M4 silicon chips because it's not our topic for today. For the storage, as I said, you have 512 to 1 terabyte, but you can configure up to 2 terabytes or up to 4 terabytes. Still, you have the SDXC card slot, HDMI port, 3.5mm headphone jack, MagSafe 3 port. So nothing has changed. It's still the specs in the M1 Pro MacBook Pro. But if you want to upgrade for the M4 Pro, you're gonna have Thunderbolt 5 USB ports. So for the display support, if you want to use external displays, you can have up to 2 external displays with 6K resolution at 60 Hz over Thunderbolt, and 1 external display with up to 6K resolution at 60 Hz over Thunderbolt, and 1 external display with up to 4K at 144 Hz over HDMI. So Thunderbolt means is you're gonna have to use the USB-C to achieve the 6K resolution at 60 Hz. And if you're gonna use the HDMI port, it can support up to 8K resolution at 60 Hz or 1 external display at 4K resolution up to 240 Hz over HDMI. So video playback, it can support HVC, H.264 or MP4, AV1 and ProRes. You can view HDR videos that has Dolby Vision, HDR10+, HDR10 and HLG. Supported formats include for audio playback are AAC, MP3, Apple Lossless, FLAC, Dolby Digital Plus, and Dolby Atmos. And still you have the backlit keyboard. Nothing has changed there. Only the icons maybe. And for the wireless, you have the Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3. Nothing has changed compared to the M4 MacBook Pro. So there's no C1X chip for networking. Okay, you have the 12 megapixel center stage camera with desk view. So you have a wide angle camera that can capture a wide shot of your surroundings. But you cannot record 4K on this. It still caps at 1080p HD video recording. And so in every Apple Silicon chips, you have a advanced image signal processor with computational video. For the audio, you have the high fidelity 6-speaker sound system with force cancelling woofers, wide stereo sound, support for spatial audio with dynamic head tracking, and you have a studio quality 3 mic array and a 3mm headphone jack. Still, Apple cannot remove this. And an HDMI port that supports multi-channel audio input. For the operating requirements, you don't have to worry on this because you're gonna have this MacBook Pro only on your home desk or office desk or restaurant desk like Starbucks, you know. So for the operating system, you have the latest macOS Tau for your M5 MacBook Pro. Also, it comes with Apple Intelligence because it's 2025 and Apple Silicon M5 is built for Apple Intelligence or AI. Look at that icons, ba? Okay. So what's included in the box? The M5 MacBook Pro, a 70-watt USB-C power adapter, USB to MagSafe 3 cable, 2 meters, polishing cloth, but only with the nano texture display option. So guys, that's it. So thank you guys for watching. Pa-subscribe naman dyan, please. Peace out. Bye.